Welcome back. We're here at Woodcrest Village, and joining me now with the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is Nurse Case Manager Scott Ross.
Hi.
Thanks for coming here.
Thank you for having me here.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I've been with the visiting nurse for a little over 5.5 years now. I started with the VNA as a nurse case manager, both doing home care and hospice. Primarily now for the past 3 years, I've been a full-time hospice-only case manager.
Okay.
Prior to that, I worked here at Woodcrest actually as a nursing supervisor in the evening, and it was actually my first registered nurse position was here at Woodcrest, and prepared me wonderfully for my role as a hospice case manager.
Absolutely. So what's your role in case manager?
As a hospice case manager for Lake Sunapee VNA, I have a specific territory. We're broken up into territories, and I work with a team, an interdisciplinary team of team members. My territory includes New London and most points north and east of it. I go up to Grafton, down to Sutton, Bradford. And we split up our territory with other nurses. But as a team, for a hospice member, as the case manager, I kind of am responsible for the management of the plan of care and who's coming in and what services we need for a particular case.
I see.
And with that, we have our director is a registered nurse. We have a medical director who is Dr. Christy Saunders. There's a nurse case manager. There are LNAs, home health aides, homemakers. And as a case manager, I kind of put our plan of care together with all our teams to help what best facilitates the care here or anywhere. That's
terrific. And what are some of the different settings?
Most of the time, I'm considered a community hospice nurse versus working at a hospice house, for example.
I see.
So I'm a community nurse, but settings mostly are in the home, but facilities or assisted living facilities like Woodcrest.
Yes.
This is each apartment or each resident lives here as it's their home, and we treat them like it's their home. We also do services in nursing homes, other assisted living facilities, and at times we'll do hospice in a hospital if we have to, depending on the case.
That's great. You go everywhere.
We do. That's the beauty of it. And what a beautiful place and area of the state to do it in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how does your team help Woodcrest residents get services here? How
here at the
remain
VNA?
them? How do they help them remain here, which is their home, as you mentioned?
It is, and what's nice, at least from the VNA perspective, we have, of course, 3 business services: home health aid, home health services, community health services, and hospice services. Home health is somebody that came home with a knee replacement, needed the wound or the staples removed or whatever, right?
Okay.
That's a different service or private duty service, but the way hospice helps is certainly when somebody who's living in an assisted living and they're here to have assistance with their living, and they're older, and if they're starting to face a terminal diagnosis or prognosis, what are our options to keep somebody safe? They don't want to die in the hospital, and they want to live in this. I've had a recent patient who's since passed. She was one of Woodcrest's longest residents here, and I got to be her hospice nurse, and she was on services for 1.5 years, maybe. I don't remember completely, but how do we help her stay here? Well, care can become more complicated. Symptoms become more complicated. My role as a nurse is to help the facility help with symptom management, for example, and we can bring the doctor in for complicated symptom management. We offer up a home health aid, for example, to help with activities of daily living, like getting dressed or taking a shower. While they do that here at Woodcrest, our VNA staff can come in and support the Woodcrest staff that are helping our patient. So as care may become more intensive, more than perhaps sometimes they're able to do. we support them in that,
Yeah.
and the patient and the family.
You're the specialists. You
We are
know,
the
you really can add that
nurse,
extra layer.
Right, and as a nurse, I get to work with the symptom management pieces and the medicine pieces and recommendations when we're trying to manage complex symptoms. But not only home health aide, a volunteer to come and sit and play cards or hold a hand.
Yeah.
Spiritual care.
Right.
To sit with the family, or spiritual care to sit with the patient and the staff of Woodcrest. Social worker does the same thing too. So it's wonderful to be able to work with the special team that I work with.
The list goes on.
It
so
does.
many, just miles and miles of services. That's great. Well, that's what we know the Lake Sunapee Region VNA is famous for. So thank you so much for bringing us a little bit more information. We've got the information up on the screen. So if anyone's in need of those services, they can give Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice a call.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for your time, Scott.